I call this meeting to order at 6:31. At this time, it does not look like there's any modifications to the agenda. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Thank you. And now we have the section where we have recognition of visitors and comments from the audience for those who have signed it. Anybody signed it? Doesn't look like it. So, Master Trent, you are on deck.
Turn. Yeah, share your screen. There you go.
We got you now, but we can't hear you.
Sounds good. Can you hear me online? All right. Exciting news. We've been working really hard at the high school with our teachers, our administration. Thanks to Superintendent Tracy for all of her support, her work to help us. Christy Wright from Debbie Harmon, all of our master teachers, mentor teachers, career teachers, just everybody who has been involved in this work. Tonight I'm excited to share with you a lot of culmination of that work, but also continuing work. We're not done. We have much more coming, but I want to give you an update as far as where we currently stand. And so, first of all, I want to start off with an overview as far as what does it look like to be a graduate, let's be honest, in the state of Indiana, but definitely at Brown High School. So if you look at the screen and you see where it's graduation pathway requirements, you're going to start to see three different expectations, three different requirements for our high school students to graduate. So first thing you want to look at is you have to meet one requirement in each of these categories. The first category is basically in order to receive a high school diploma, you have to have 440, tech honors, academic honors, or a general diploma. In most cases, you're going to find that most of our students are going to receive a 440 diploma. Some of our students receive one of the other three. So that's step one. Also, along with step two is they have to show, learn and demonstrate employability skills. So in this case, every student has to complete some kind of project-based learning, service-based learning, or work-based learning. And then on number three is the post-secondary ready competencies. And so basically, one of these nine have to be complete. Either honors diploma, receiving a certain level, certain cut score on ACT or SAT, or ASVAB, which is a military entrance exam, but also it's not necessarily for students who are going to the military, but it's also the ability for students to take this to find out career interests. Then you have, if a student earns an industry certification that meets this criteria, we call bucket three, apprenticeship, CTE concentrator, AP dual credit, or locally created pathways. So what I'm doing is sharing with you right now kind of the overview of what it takes to be a graduate. But the one thing I want to share with you tonight in particular is bucket 3, specifically subsection number 7 and number 9, which is CTE concentrator and also locally created pathways. That's where our work has been over the last couple of months. So to give you kind of an overview of this, I'm going to share this with the board to give you kind of a larger what the board is looking at right now is actually on the screen. So we're doing work on programs of study. And so what we worked on here at the high school is we want to give our students an experience. We want to give them an opportunity. That goes right in line with our vision and our mission statement as far as Brown County schools. And so we've identified actually 10 programs of study that we're currently working on that are CTE based, which was subsection number 7, but we're also working on creating some local pathways as well. Actually 2 in particular right now. And I'll share both of those with you. So first of all, the one thing we want to do here at the high school is we want to expand on construction. Right now, a lot of our students actually go to C4 in order to receive a lot of their CTE instruction. Our goal is to bring some of that back. That's our goal. And so we're working really hard on doing this. So construction is one of those areas. So when you look across, you can see that construction is a program of study. And then what you're going to look at to the right-hand side is you're going to see there are 3 courses in order to complete that program of study. So the first course is what's called a principles course. So in this case, principles of construction, POC. And then the other 2 classes to the right of that are concentrator A and concentrator B. So essentially what that means is that you can look at these as being 1 year or two trimesters of each of these courses. Principles of construction will be 2 trimesters. The construction trades 1 is 2 trimesters. And then construction trades 2 is also 2 trimesters. So basically taking over the course typically over 3 years. Let's continue on. Let's look at engineering, which is a project delay course. Intro to engineering, principles of engineering, SIM, and also EDD. We're looking at also the great thing is that we can offer dual credit through Ivy Tech. In the first 2 classes, which is the intro to engineering and also the principles of engineering. So students can receive dual credit in that area, which is super exciting for our students. Principles of machining is a 3rd program of study. You look across, you can see where principles of precision machining is a principles course. And this feeds right into our Eagle manufacturing course. So the course actually is machining fundamentals and also precision machining. If you look down below, you're going to see in parentheses where Eagle Manufacturing 1 and Eagle Manufacturing 2 is basically the area where the students receive concentrator A and concentrator B as part of these courses. And then digital design is set up the same way. It's principles of digital design, and those, once the students fulfill that requirement, that's also feeded into Eagle Manufacturing, taking digital design graphics and graphic design and planning. Let's continue. So then, as we continue on, we're going to expand our business program, which we're super excited about this as well. We're looking at offering 2 different programs of study within business, which is business administration and also marketing sales. We've hired a new teacher here at the high school, Miss Amy Kroll, and Amy is not only has experience in the field, but also she has experience teaching these courses to the degree where she can teach field service here as well, which we're super excited about. Again, the Ivy Tech. If you look across, principles of business management lead into both of these programs of study. So once a student takes principles of business, which again is dual credit, that feeds into the management piece or the marketing piece. As far as entrepreneurship, this is going to be an expansion as well. Right now we offer principles of entrepreneurship, but we're going to expand this and expand our curriculum to make it even better. which leads into new venture development and also small business operations. This is really solid for our communities. This is Brown County and Nashville. It just thrives in the area of entrepreneurship. Biomedical science, this fall, we have principles of biomed, human body systems, medical interventions, and then biomedical interventions is that program study which is already in place and it's been in place for several years. Your science is already a program study we're currently offering as well with Mr. Reichman. In principles of computing, topics in computer science and also computer science for the concentrated B. An expansion also, something we're going to be offering, which is new, since we're offering preschool at the Career Resource Center, the Education Center. That gives us an opportunity, allowing our students to go across the parking lot to be able to join that program, where our kids are going to be able to work alongside the teacher with students to be able to learn, the principles of early childhood education, also learning early childhood ed as far as curriculum, and then also guidance. And all three of those courses are also dual credit through IPTech. So those are 10 courses or 10 programs of study we're looking at through the CTE format. But there's also 2 other pathways that we're continuing to work on developing, which is the civic arts, which is a local pathway. Greater Clark Community Schools has created that pathway, and what we're working on is either jumping on board with that pathway or also developing our own touch on that to be able to submit to the state of Indiana for approval. We're working on that currently.
Yeah, thank you.
So what that means is basically, in order to create your own local pathway, you have to basically show basically the 3 concentrators. But also, the big thing with that pathway is an internship to go along with it. So it's one of those things where we're working on creating the list of courses that a student can take in order to fulfill that pathway. To give an example, one thing that can fulfill a civic arts pathway is students who are going into band, students who are in choir, students who are in theater, some of those areas. That's a way for those students to have interest in band, choir, any kind of music or theater arts, or to be able to go into to fulfill the pathway from the civic arts. And we're super excited about that. That really gives our students who thrive in those areas an opportunity to fulfill a pathway. Then also you have we're working on right now part of health, the hospitality and tourism, which is also a local pathway. This is going to be great for our community as well, because again, think about Nashville, think about Brown County. This is what we do, right? We work in the area of hospitality, and we work in the area of tourism, and we're doing the same thing. The idea there is we're going to try to work with the Business Bureau. Barb's sister actually is one of the key leaders in that area, and so we're going to try to create a relationship with them to be able to work in the area of hospitality and tourism. The big thing I think is really the internships and the community partners is the work that we're working on right now. Chrissy Wexman's been instrumental in making those connections for us. We're looking at local businesses. We're looking at music center. We're looking at the Playhouse, being able to make those connections with those type of community partners for our students to receive internships. And those are 2 local pathways we're currently working on. But again, like I said, that creates local pathways for our students to fulfill. And the reality is we're looking at finding different ways of being able to expand and creating more programs to study. But as of right now, those are the 12 that we're really focusing on this time.
Yeah.
Last you mentioned the Playhouse and the music center. Was that under the focus of civil arts, or was the hospitality and tourism?
Both. I would say primarily the civic arts, but in that case right there, the hospitality and tourism can go along with that. But I would say that as far as the music center, the Playhouse, I would say that would really be more the lines of civic arts, and we're looking at the arts, the music, band choir, and also
Obviously, considering places like the artist colony and those kinds of things as far as
one business also, analysis actually, one company, one restaurant, we're working with some of our, which needs to be involved with so, but again, that's some of the work that we're doing right now. Just to kind of point out a few quick things, not getting into the weeds too much, but these are the new courses that we're going to be offering through all this work in the program to study. I've already kind of pointed out. It's really kind of hard to see. You can kind of see it's in red, which is the construction trades 1, construction trades 2. Those are new courses that we're looking at offering. And then also in red, you can see the 4 purples in the top right-hand corner, which is the management and marketing, and also the concentrator A and B under the entrepreneurship. All 6 of those classes will be new courses that we're looking at offering.
Well, so my question about that was staff.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of work for this town. That PPA structure, which I know he already does.
Yeah.
But still, to actually fulfill these pathways here at the top.
Yeah.
I assume it's the Chris Thompson and.
Amy Kroll. Yeah. One thing about Amy is Christy we got really creative with this to help us out with the CRC and Frank Bernard also. One thing we're going to work on is taking the ICE program, which is the school work program, and moving the ICE program under Greg Bernard's leadership. And so that frees up Amy to be able to teach other courses. So that's
What is ICE?
It's basically our school work program. So the student is working within the community and receiving that experience. What they can do is get a job in the community. They can usually take a couple periods, 3 periods a day, and work with the community. So that's something that Greg's going to take on that Amy is currently operating under, and that will help us free her up so she can be able to teach some new courses here at school.
And then the early childhood ed, I know that we're working on the preschool and it's not fully formed, but we will then have a licensed teacher who can teach high school, then and then also as a release childhood education background.
That's correct.
And that'll be the new hire.
Not necessarily new hire, it could be an internal transfer. Those are details we work out right now. It could be an internal transfer.
Because I'm just not sure whether we, how to get there, but
Yeah.
we've got it all worked out.
Yeah, at this point in time right now, there's a possibility of internal transfer, but that's the case. That person actually has the licensing to not only offer the course for our students, but also to provide dual certification for our kids too, which is really exciting.
Right. That's what they say. You need someone who has both the littles and the bigs,
Yeah, and the great thing about that course is that gives a lot of flexibility for our schedule, because the challenge we're going to have in high school is being able to offer all this and schedule. But we have plans for that, and actually the early childhood pathway gives us a lot of flexibility to be able to do that, because that's going to be an all-day program, and so there's not going to be a limit necessarily to the students who go across the parking lot to be able to work with this teacher and these students, which is exciting.
And they're currently going to Columbus for that.
Currently, yes.
Right. So is part of the goal to reduce some of the kids who have to go to Columbus?
That's the goal. That's the goal. So yeah, the idea too is that we will still have students who will be going to Columbus for C4. An example, automotive, welding, those types of areas. Students who are going to cosmetology. Those are still students who are going to be going to C4. But our goal is to try to bring some of the students back to be able to offer these CTE courses. And quite honestly, what it does is increase funding for our school because we're offering CTE courses.
Plus, we won't be paying as much to go over there.
Correct.
Right. And it makes their schedule easier.
It does, especially for our students, because again, we're travel time.
Right.
Travel time, and so they have an opportunity to be here. But that's the goal. It's a good challenge, but we're going to work on it.
Thank you. Next, 5 discussion items, we have none. Next is approval of public session minutes for February 10th, 2022. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Any discussion? Roll call.
Carol,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Vicky? Yes. Stephanie?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we do not have any action needed items. Next is the consent agenda item. The personnel, we have separations of high school paraprofessional Victoria Norman effective February 8th, 2022, with the appointment of middle school fifth grade teacher, basketball coach Kyle McKay, with a 993 stipend, effective February 28th, 2022, as a replacement for Caitlin Matlock. Do I have a motion?
I so moved.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Carol,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Stephanie? Steve?
Yes. Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Steve. Motion carries. And next is superintendent's report.
Good evening. Tonight, I want to be able to provide an update on our COVID data for Brown County Schools. Since our last meeting, February 10th, 2022, we have only had 2 positive cases, 1 staff and 1 student. So that data is trending in a very positive direction for us. So we're excited about that. Across the entire district, we are only counting 28 of any of our building population across the entire district that are even showing symptomatic. So those percentages are very, very low. Today, we were able to release a statement about the new Indiana Department of Health guidelines that were released publicly today. Those guidelines state that public schools are not required to continue to conduct contact tracing and quarantine. That's left up to the local school districts to make those decisions. That will go into effect, I believe, the 22nd. And it also anything that's connected with the current governor's executive orders. So Brown County Schools has made the decision to have masks optional for staff and students, and that will begin effective tomorrow. I just want to reiterate that it is optional, and any kiddo that would like to have a mask and wear a mask, we will support that. And if any kiddo needs a mask, we have lots of masks that we can provide kiddos too. So if you need anything, please just let your building principal, your teachers, or myself know, and we will do everything we can. I want to thank everybody for the continued support through the pandemic. Also earlier today, we sent out the following press release. Dear students, families, and staff, earlier this week, a letter unauthorized by Brown County Schools was released to elementary school families. It was advising our students and parents that they could opt out of certain instruction regarding Black History Month. We want to be very clear. Our district does not permit students to opt out of history lessons, including ones based on historical injustices. I want to personally apologize for confusion that was caused by this letter, and I want to be able to offer assurances that Brown County Schools is absolutely committed to providing an inclusive environment for all of our students and all of our families. We will learn from this incident, and it is an opportunity for us to continue to improve our communication with our families. And again, I just want to thank everybody for their continued support. One last update, we are operating on a 2-hour delay for tomorrow due to flooding and icy road conditions. So stay tuned in the morning if we need to make further changes, but that message went out right before our board meeting. So be safe. Thank you.
And I wanted to add one comment. It does not change that mask wearing on the buses. Is that not correct?
Thank you for that clarification. Yes, the school buses, that is a federal law that has not changed. So anybody that is on a school bus is still required to wear those masks. And we will still have masks for the buses and on the buses for any kiddo that needs them there too. Thank you.
Next I need a motion for claims as presented. Do I have a second? Any discussion? Roll call.
Carol,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Stephanie, Steve.
Yes.
Motion carried. Do I have a motion for adjournment? Do I have a second? Roll call.
Carol,
Yes.
Amy, Vicky, Stephanie, Steve.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Motion carried. We are adjourned.